Hey, happy Tuesday. Pastor Fred here. Time for another video follow through this morning. And we're in Romans 12, verse 10. Paul says, love one another with brotherly affection. Outdo one another in showing honor. And that's what we're going to look at today. And I came across in one of the commentaries as I was looking at this for the sermon. They were talking about a British preacher, teacher guy. His last name was Carnes. And this is probably a long time ago. And there's a story about this guy where, he was a member of this big group, and they were having this big, massive gathering in this hall. And so, everybody's kind of in the hall, and this Carnes guy is walking in, and everyone just starts to applaud. I mean, the room just erupts. And being the kind of guy that he was, the story goes that he stepped back and let the guy who was behind him go ahead into the room, and then he actually started applauding him, right? So he's clapping for the guy who was behind him. And the reason why he did that was that just deep down in his heart was this humble spirit that said, you know what, they're not applauding for me. Certainly they're applauding for the guy behind me. Because he didn't see himself as someone to be the center of attention, and someone for whom they would just, like an adoring audience, was just, waiting for him to arrive. And it's a good question for us, like, do we think that about ourselves? Would we be the ones to say, hey, yeah, they're applauding me, of course? Or do we say, you know what, my life's not about me shining, but about the people around me shining? And that's tough, because I think the way we're wired as human beings is to want the spotlight and to want to have people honor us. And so we say certain things, right? And we call it fishing for compliments, and that's what we do often, right? We'll compliment somebody hoping that they'll compliment us. And what does it feel like when they don't? When they don't give us the attaboy, when they don't show us the honor that's due to us? Sometimes we become indignant. And here's the thing, like, throughout your life, you're going to have so many times when you pour your whole self into something, and it comes out great, and so many people benefit, but you get no praise for it. Nobody's, doing a write-up in the paper. There's no special on YouTube about what you did. And you might be thinking, well, gee, don't I matter? But that's when, like, passages like this are so important. Like, 'cause I gotta see, like, am I in a contest to be the spotlight, right? To get all of the praise and all of the attention. Paul says, let's love each other with this brotherly affection, and let's outdo one another. In other words, if we're in a contest, let's try to outdo each other in showing honor, in setting things up so that others shine, because that's what it's all about. And I think the real focus and the key is in that first half, that we would love with brotherly affection, meaning that we show ourselves to be brothers to those around us, or sisters to those around us, and seeing them as not competition, but as part of the family of God, with God as our Father, who, listen to this, who loves each of us equally. Now, if you've ever grown up, I know it's harder for folks who are, only children to maybe deal with this, because they don't have that kind of competition. But I grew up with a brother and two sisters, and sometimes someone will say, oh, well, your dad's favorite or your mom's favorite. And I think sometimes that happens probably in families, but not in God's family. He loves each of us, like, more than we could even imagine. And so if we see it that way, and if we believe that what Scripture says about that He loves us unconditionally and loves all of us unconditionally, right? He doesn't pick and choose. He doesn't have favorites, right? He just loves us all. So competition flies out the window. No need for it. No need to, listen to this, no need to waste our time on it. I mean, why would we? When we could be busy like showing others and reminding our fellow brothers and sisters especially that they're loved by God and how much He loves them. Not trying to show that we're the favorite, because we're not. He loves us all, and so let's just make it a point every day to say, who can I honor today? who can I like just show how amazing like what God is doing in their life is? I pray that that's what we're busy doing each and every day, like outdoing each other in showing honor as we love each other as God has loved us, which is just so amazing. All right, so I hope you have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for another video follow.